Hi guys, so in the previous video we were talking about just the reasons that you might want to become consistent and how it's going to help to alleviate any stress and anxiety that you might be feeling around writing blog posts. In this video I'm going to be talking to you all about what I like to call batch blogging, so how we can write as many blog posts as we can in one sitting. The reason for this is because life gets busy, and so when you have some downtime it's about writing as much as you can so that on other days when you don't necessarily have as much time you've still got those blog posts ready to go. Once you get into the idea of batch blogging you will find that actually it does save you time in the long run. But by batch blogging I mean writing a few blog posts all in one sitting. Now the amount that you're going to write depends on you. Usually I like to do probably 2 or 3 at a time, but you might want to do even more. The batch blogging is working in segments, and so you're looking at writing the draft, editing, and then going through the final images and process and doing them at separate times throughout the week or the month leading up to actually publishing that blog post. A draft blog post, you really don't want to be editing it. It is about getting as much down as you can on the keyboard or on the page, however you like to write your blog post. And the reason for doing a few at a time is that once you get into that creative space, that creative mindset, you will find easier and quicker to do a few at a time rather than doing one day, having to get into that mindset, having a break and then doing another day. So I hope you can see that by doing a few at a time, you'll get into the flow, you'll get into the rhythm of writing, and it will actually save you time. So when you're doing this draft process of 1, 2, 3, however many blogs it is that you decided to do at that time, the key is not to be editing as you go. It's just to get the information, your thoughts out there and down. Then I would recommend taking a break from the blog posts, and usually I then do the editing side of things on another day, but sometimes depending on your schedule it's okay to do it on the same day, but do leave a gap and come back to your blog posts and work one at a time in editing them. And sometimes you might think, what the hell have I written? And that's okay, you might want to delete that, edit things, and just then start to polish your work. If grammar and spelling is something that you struggle with, or even if you just want to have things checked as you go, I use a great plugin called Grammarly. I added this onto my Google Chrome and it highlights any grammatical and spelling mistakes that I might have. Once you've done your editing process, and you might want to do this 1 or 2 times, to polish your writing. And also my recommendation is to keep it lean, so get rid of some of those filler words that you might not need. Words like and or that and which, and sometimes you just can really get rid of some of these words and make it as clean, lean and polished as you can. Another reason for planning ahead and batch blogging is it really helps with your photography. If you like to have your own images and add photography into your blog posts, this also means that you can take some batch photos, because when you know what's going up you can take some photos, whether that's flat lays, you've got sort of square on the floor, and then you've got accessories and things that you want to photo all laid out, whether it's photographs of yourself, whether it's photographs of scenery. If you know what's coming up then you can snap some photos when you're out and about that might be appropriate. Or you can also dedicate a time where you're going to say, okay, I'm going to take the photos for my next 3 to 4 blog posts all in one sitting. Again, this is just such a great time-saving exercise, and you're not doing it again in a panic of, oh my god, I need a photo, where am I going to get one from? Once you've got your edit, or however it works for you, you can add those photos into your blog post. As I've mentioned before, it's also really worthwhile having some kind of pinnable image in your blog post. This is so that you can add it into Pinterest, and we'll talk more about why and how you can do this in the next module. I like to use something called Canva, canva.com. It's a free website that is brilliant for any graphic design or anything like that that you want to add onto your website. I create all my pinnable images through Canva. They even have a template which is the exact size that Pinterest really likes, so you can use that to create some kind of image or add in some graphics that tell people what your blog post is going to be about so that you can put it on Pinterest. You also want to have some featured image that is your header for your blog post. Now either having just an image or an image with some text can work really well depending on your blog style and how you like it. But just These are just things to remember for your images and your blog posts. The amount of images that you have is up to you. Sometimes I just have one if it's a short blog post and it doesn't really need any visual explanation. Sometimes I'll have quite a few if it's been a travel post and I've got lots of beautiful images that I want to share. When it comes to imagery as well, I am definitely no photographer, but I will sometimes use the DSLR camera that I happen to have, and sometimes I'll just use my iPhone. It really depends on the situation, but phones today really do have good software to make your images look good. Once you've gone through and you've done a rough draft, you've edited your blog post, and you've added some images, I will then do one final run through of the blog post. And by this, I mean I'd either ask somebody to read it just to make sure that it reads okay, there's no glaring errors. But be mindful that you're not necessarily asking them for their opinion of your blog post, so only ask somebody that you trust. If this isn't something that you want to do or you don't have anybody there at that time, then another great tip is to just read the blog post out loud. When you read it out loud, it really can change, because in your head you might know what it's supposed to say, but actually by reading it out loud it might just not sound right, it might be a little bit clunky, or it might sound a little bit too formal, so you can sometimes shorten words down. So rather than saying something like "it is," you might just change it to "it's," because when you read it out loud it might just fit better. When you've done your final read through and you're really happy with everything, you've got your blog post exactly how you want it to be, you can now schedule it to go live at the designated time that fits with your calendar. By doing this on a regular basis, you will have a consistent amount of blog posts that you can share. It also means that if you decide that you're going to publish your blog post at, say, 9 AM on a Wednesday morning, if for some reason that you're ever not available to do it manually, by scheduling it, it means it's still all gone, it's all there, it's done, and you don't have to worry about it. The amount of times you might need to do the batch blogging really depends on how many blog posts that you want to publish on a weekly basis. But find a schedule that fits your lifestyle, that works for you, and just keep practicing and editing until you get this right. Because once you do it, you will be so thankful that you've reduced the stress and you have finally become the consistent blogger that you've always wanted to be. In the next video, we're going to be looking at how you can keep a consistent voice and find your voice when it comes to blogging.